I was a Trump supporter. I don't know how long I can keep doing this. I have a construction company, and not a fucking thing is getting done. This is what I get. This is what I fucking get. Nothing but white boys. It takes 4 days to do a one-day job. I might have fucked up.
Care how things were affecting others until it affected me. Am I proud of that? No. We live in a very cruel world, and sometimes the only way to survive is by being selfish. We are all just out here trying to survive as best we can. And although we may have good intentions and we may be empathetic and we may be compassionate, we will always put ourselves first because we have to survive. And if that means making a mistake in my vote or maybe putting my trust in the wrong person like I did, then that's what it means. I will always put the betterment of my family and vote in ways that I think will help my family above anyone else.
Here's the problem with voting for your self-interest, is you voted for your self-interest. So did everybody else in the Republican Party. Think about that for a minute. You voted for your self-interest, but you don't have anything. Like, you don't have anything. Like, that's what it is. But other people, rich people, they have a lot. So of course they're going to vote for their self-interest because they have something. You don't. You need the tribe, right? The socialized healthcare, the socialized dental care, schools, firefighters, police officers, all socialized systems. Is it clicking? Yeah. You voted against the tribe, you know? You could only take care of yourself if you have something. And you don't have shit.
What did you just say about Trump?
I said, Trump's a fucking liar. Inflation's going up. Gas prices hasn't really come down that much. Eggs, that's the funny one. The eggs. I'm mad. And I'm a MAGA man. Okay? I don't see anything he's done.
So is it safe to say that the illusion has faded?
I think it has, yes. You know, I was for him because, you know, everything he said, you know, he played right into my hands. He just told us everything we wanted to hear. That's what he did. I can't even stand to look at him because, you know, he's just he's a con. He's a flat ass, nothing but a fucking con. You know, they all the right side, they say, oh yeah, the Biden side was so bad. Well, what's so good about the right side? He brags about doing something with our economy, but I haven't seen anything happen yet. That big beautiful bill is going to add, they say $2.5 trillion. It's going to add about $4 trillion to the debt. The big beautiful bill. Oh, what a joke. Remember what happened in the 80s with trickle-down economics? Yeah. The filthy rich got richer, and us guys that worked for a living paid more taxes. I'm disappointed, for sure. I'm real disappointed.
Hold on.
This was supposed to be something huge for the middle class, you know, where most people in America are. And we've all just been misled about it, to be honest about it.
So the big, beautiful bill did pass today, and I just feel a little misled. I feel misled. What do you think?
You know why we voted for Donald Trump? Because the middle class man finally thought he was going to get ahead in life. You said no taxes on overtime. Big, bold, beautiful letters. We thought, hell yeah, why would we not vote for that? Then you turn around and pass the bill and it's a crock of shit.
Well, who would have seen that coming?
Dinner table with both of my MAGA parents. We're watching the news that was talking about Trump's new big, beautiful bill. And of course, my dad was like, oh, fuck yeah, like, big, beautiful bill. My mom was just kind of clueless, and she was like, what is it? And so I'm standing across the kitchen, and I'm like, oh, they're making cuts to Medicaid. Because they are. My father, who, keep in mind, he did not go to school. He dropped out early, got his GED, never went to college. And, like, no shade on the man. Like, he's made a living for himself, but, like, he's not educated whatsoever. so when he shouts at me from across the kitchen, "No, the fuck they're not. They're not touching Medicaid. You have no idea what you're talking about." What? I'm sorry. Like, Google is free. But God was with me. Don't worry. 30 seconds later, the news switches and is like, Trump cuts however many $1 million from Medicaid. Look at that. I was right. I was still wrong, though, for some reason. I don't remember how, but yeah, what I said wasn't true. Because I'm just an idiot. I'm just a 20-year-old girl who graduated from high school with honors and is currently in college. Now, I'm not trying to say that I know everything about politics because I went to college. I'm an interior design major, okay? I do not. But, like, I was smart enough to get in. I was just at the dinner table with both of my...
I mean, 2 weeks. I'm done. You want to talk about regretting your vote?
I never thought I'd say that, but I regret my vote. I voted for Trump.
I voted for Trump, and I regret it now.
As a Hispanic, I voted for Donald J. Trump. Dude, I regret it so much, man.
I am regretting my vote for Donald Trump.
I voted for Donald Trump, and now I regret it.
A lot of people who were like me voted for Trump and have to account for that.
I regret voting for Trump.
So deeply regret my vote for Donald Trump.
I regret voting for Trump.
I was a dumbass, voted for Trump. It was the worst decision I ever made.
I've seen the light, and I got out of MAGA. A lot of us there have seen the light. We have deep regrets. I feel guilty because I voted for Trump twice. I feel very guilty because I feel responsible. That's why he's still running.
I was with Trump for 9 straight years. I'm disappointed. I'm very disappointed in Trump right now.
Not a single person who voted for Donald Trump regrets it. The left has nothing left but lies.
Are you sure about that?
Riley, do you now regret the way you voted for Trump?
I do feel regret, and I've had a lot of tumultuous thoughts about that day.
She was a single-issue voter. She voted for Trump because of her infertility issues, and now she's having regrets. I wonder if anyone else has regrets. This family is regretting their choice for voting for Trump because they voted for him, but now their farm is in trouble. And this Trump voter also regrets their vote. So does this one. Now, sure, there are people that don't regret their vote for Trump, like this guy whose wife got deported by ICE. And even though he didn't think that it would happen to him, he still doesn't regret his vote for Trump. And honestly, that's probably the most shocking case of them all. Because when you vote for Trump because of immigration, and then your own wife gets deported due to her immigration status, and you still support the man responsible for doing so, now that is some serious cult-type dedication.
If it wasn't so sad, it would be even funnier. Because can you imagine, like, voting for the same person twice? People were trying to tell you. Now, I'm not for either side, okay? Because I don't think that Democrats do anything useful for the people, and I don't think Republicans do anything useful for the people. But I at least knew that Trump was definitely not going to be the right choice because he literally told you what he was going to do before he ever even ran, and you still voted for him. So all these people now coming out, oh my God. It's like, what? Like, it was literally an open book test. Literally, the test was open book. Like, you could look up the answers and everything, and you still failed it. This is wild, y'all. So we have more and more people coming out saying that they regret their vote. They're voting for Trump. Which is quite unfortunate, you know? So this commenter says, unfortunately, too little, too late. Didn't have to be like this. Yeah, exactly. And most of the Trump supporters voted for him 2 times. The first time Trump was president, he didn't do a good job then either, not particularly anyway. So at least not for the lower class, you know? So the fact that they voted for him yet again is astronomically insane, right? I want to see more of this content. Oh my gosh. He didn't learn from the 30,000 lies Trump told in his first term. Exactly. That's literally what I just said. I was like, okay, because he did the same time the first go around. And I bet you if Trump were to run a third time, if he were to be allowed to, these same people would still vote for him. You know, it's like, I don't even know what the delusion, or is it like a lack of information or education? I don't, something's going on there. I bet he would vote for him again. Oh my gosh. I literally just said, like, they keep taking the words out of my mouth before I'm getting to the comments, y'all. At no point did I hear him show regret for the way people are being treated. It's all about how it affected him. Yeah, that's how they vote. That's how they vote. Me, 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 me. And then it ends up biting them in the behind, right? So he's worried about the things that are affecting him directly. What about atrocities being carried out against immigrants and etc.? Does that matter at all? No, they don't care about that. If they cared about that, they probably wouldn't have voted for him, right? Too late. Many families are suffering a fate much worse than just paying more for gas and groceries. And Trump, is doing all he said that he was going to do to the immigrants and minorities. Yeah, that's everything that he said he was going to do. And you still voted for him. So that's on you. That's like the males that are always complaining about conscription. Males are always complaining about conscription. Oh, we're forced to go to war. We're always being drafted. Like, why do we have to do this? And women don't have to do it. But then they're complaining to women. And it's like, why are you complaining to women? Why are you complaining to us? We're not the ones forcing you to do those things. If you have a problem with that, then you need to confront the people that are forcing you to do those things. And guess who that is? Males. It's other males that are forcing you to do those things. It's other males that are forcing you to submit and that are sending you to the front lines when it comes to war. And it's also them that are starting the wars. So if you have a problem with it, go confront your bros. I don't know why they keep complaining to women about that. We're the ones that are forcing you to do that. We didn't start that process. We didn't make that into law. We didn't do any of that. We did not even set it up in the way that is, so we can't do anything for you. We can't help you. You complaining to us means nothing. You need to go face your bros. It's like the exact same thing, right? It's like, now all of a sudden the MAGA, they're all like, oh no, this didn't turn out the way it was supposed to turn out, and blah 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 blah, to the other side and to anybody that will listen. And it's like, okay, but we're not the ones that forced you to vote the way that you voted. So how are we supposed to help you? It's insane, y'all. It's totally crazy. It's totally wild. Leave it in the comments below. Let me know what your thoughts are. And don't forget to smash that like and smash that subscribe.
More deaths in Texas with the flooding victims, and now it looks like possibly 20 innocent young girls having fun at a camp. Those deaths were directly caused by Donald Trump, Project 2025, and Greg Abbott. All of those cuts to the National Weather Service, to NOAA, by DOGE, supported by Governor Abbott and Trump and MAGA Republicans, directly caused those deaths. And if you are a Republican voter who voted for Governor Abbott and voted for Trump and supported DOGE, this is on you.
I'm a supporter of President Donald Trump, voting for him in this election and the last, and the one prior to that. However, President Trump is about to allow JBS, the world's most corrupt beef organization, to become publicly traded in America. President Donald Trump will be the president that allows for the complete destruction of the small, independent family farms and cattle ranches if he allows this to go through. The SEC has already approved it. Now we're just waiting a mere few days for them to allow it on the stock exchange. And what's concerning is we haven't heard a word from the Secretary of Agriculture about this. We haven't heard any of the large
millionaires, billionaires,
cattle organizations that represent cattlemen speak out about this.
Yeah, you're not.
They claim to represent cattlemen. The truth is they only represent the big guys. They're bought and paid for by the same organizations, JBS, Cargill, Tyson, National Beef, all the collusion that's happening. Go do a very simple search and you'll see the millions and millions and tens upon millions of dollars that these companies have been ordered to pay for collusion and price fixing.
And you knew
about it. Just cost us are family farms and ranches.
You're gonna lose the
And
farm.
what that costs us as the people who aren't family farms and ranches is a stable food system.
There's some MAGA guy in California that is openly saying that he regrets his vote and wishes that he didn't vote for Donald Trump because his wife got picked up by ICE today. Remember that whole leopards eating your face thing? The MAGA people don't care until it affects them. We keep telling them over and over and over again how much everything that Trump is doing is actually going to impact them negatively. And this is what they voted for without even realizing it. But they literally don't listen until it personally affects them. So many people are going to be speaking out against Trump in the coming months. Project 2025 was out there for everyone to read. We tried to let people know what was actually coming, that Trump was not actually going to save anybody any money. All he did was make promises that sound so good to people, but he had no plans to do any of the things that actually would have made life better for the people who wanted it the most.